Hi, my name is Mel. I am a mindset coach, and today I'm going to be sharing a case study of one of my clients, somebody that came to me asking for advice on their circumstances, which they thought were so big and far, and they couldn't overcome them, and what advice I gave them. So let's get started. First of all, my client said she fell into interest with a guy. She'd known him for a couple of years. They had spent some time together, like maybe a couple of dates. He ended up staying over at hers. But then she said that it was like she was begging him to spend time with her. After the dates, he just ghosted her. It's been about 7, 8 months. She's not heard anything. And she also told me that it's because he had an ex. He wasn't fully over her, and she had some circumstances like her childhood. Basically, she had some trauma. So first and foremost, circumstances do not matter. Telling me the story, the backstory of what's been going on, it genuinely does not matter because, it helps me identify from the wording that she's using and the story that she's telling me. But in reality, stop focusing on it. So that's number one. Stop focusing on what's going wrong and instead focus on what's going right. So he has met her for a couple of dates. He has been in contact with her in the past, and he actually did. He introduced her to some family members, so that's all positives. But she wasn't focusing on this. She was focusing on the no contact time that had passed. She also said that she had been begging him to spend time with her. So, as someone who's the prize, who's chosen, who's desired, who's magnetic, you would never beg anybody to spend time with you. When you're in that energy and you're just in that knowing that you are magnetizing, like you are the prize and this person, obviously they're going to want you. That's the energy you want to be in. And she had to shift the story because she kept saying, no, you don't understand, this has happened and that's happened. If you don't shift the perspective and focus on what you do want as opposed to what you don't want, you're just giving it more power. You're basically fueling the fire, but it's the old story. So instead, I told her the next 7 days, I just want you to concentrate working on yourself, telling yourself you're the prize. Of course, he wants me. Like, why wouldn't he? He's crazy. And stop thinking about how much time's passed. Also, I told her to focus on the preferred story. So by doing this, the next 7 days, I told her, just imagine he's always there with you. So in your mind, you could be sitting at work and imagine he just made a funny comment. If you're in your car driving, imagine he just stroked your arm. If you're out getting groceries, imagine, he said, let's go check out, the chocolate aisle or something, So basically putting scenarios, if she was in the relationship with him, in a happy, committed relationship, what would that look like? And for the next 7 days, I told her, live in this reality. Stop focusing on him not being there, his absence. The next thing she needs to really focus on is having that belief within herself that she can have this. If she desires this, it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, she can have this. And there has been positives. So, he has come to see her a couple of times. He has stayed over at hers. So it's not like a case of he's not interested. He has spent that time, and they were long distance, I think. So he has spent that money or traveling or time, whatever effort it might be, he has invested that into seeing her. And that should show her that, he obviously wants to be there. So this is the thing, I think, when a lot of people I speak to, they focus so much on the circumstances, they make it so big, but they don't realise that it's them that's the power, it's them that's giving the circumstances the power. And by changing your perspective, you're in control. And stop thinking about the time, because how do you know that things are not changing? How do you know that he's not embarrassed to reach out? How do you know that he's not planning to reach out next week? He's planning to come see her next week. There are always things happening that we don't know. So what we can control is just your own life. And I get it, we're humans at the end of the day. Sometimes you might feel lonely, you might be hormonal, whatever. But that's the time when you really work on yourself. You put yourself first. I always say, people always think being selfish is a bad thing, but don't like, don't worry about that, because it just means you're putting yourself first, your own, like, your own values, and you matter. And by you focusing on yourself, you're giving off that energy that I love me, and then other people will see that she actually respects herself, she loves herself, she's someone that values herself, so I have to give her that respect. You know, when we see people that are so down in the dumps, depressed, they look bad, they're just, you know, like, so caught up in the negatives in their life, you don't, that repels you. You don't want to be surrounded by somebody like that. But when you see someone that's got value within themselves, that sees that I appreciate me and I'm worth something, you feel you have to live up to that standard. So I hope that this video helped. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a lovely weekend. Bye.